Hello and a very warm welcome. I am the Sleepy Geographer, and I am so glad you are here with me tonight. Find a comfortable position. Allow the weight of the day to gently settle, and your breath to find its own quiet rhythm. Tonight, we are going on a journey to the middle of nowhere and to the center of everything. We are journeying to the islands. These lonely outposts of stone and soil, surrounded on all sides by the endless blue, hold stories as old as time itself. They are fragments of continents, or the fiery children of the deep sea. Each one is a world, complete and whole, unto itself. As you settle in, I often wonder where you are listening from tonight. Perhaps a bustling city, or a quiet countryside. If you feel so inclined, you can leave a comment below telling me where in the world you are finding your rest this evening. It connects us, in a quiet way, to know we are all under the same vast canopy of sky, preparing for our own journey into sleep. I find it so wonderful that so many of you are part of this quiet community. If you are new, we would be honored to have you. A gentle tap on the subscribe button helps our little corner of the world grow. For our returning subscribers, thank you as always for your quiet support. Your presence here makes these journeys possible, and for that, I am truly grateful. Now let us prepare for our exploration. My only hope, as always, is that our story tonight is just interesting enough to hold your attention, but not so interesting that it keeps you from your destination. The final destination, of course, is a deep and peaceful rest. Let my voice be a gentle guide, a soft current to carry you there. So take a slow, deep breath. Inhale the calm of the evening, and as you exhale, release any lingering thoughts from your day. They can drift away now, like small boats setting out from a familiar shore, disappearing over the horizon. You can attend to them tomorrow. For now, there is only this space, this quiet moment, and the story of the islands, waiting to be told on the gentle tide of sleep. Let us begin our journey, not with a map, but with a feeling. The feeling of solitude, of being surrounded by the immense and patient sea. This is the essence of an island. A declaration of land in an empire of water, a place of profound isolation and profound sanctuary. We will explore how these worlds are born, from the violent fire deep within the earth, a process of creation that is both sudden and impossibly slow. We will discover how life finds its way across impossible distances of open water, to colonize these new and empty lands. It is a story of incredible resilience, of adaptation, and of the patient, relentless power of nature to fill every empty space. We will also touch upon the human story of islands, how they have been seen as prisons, as paradises, as stepping stones across the vastness. They are places that exist as much in our imagination as they do in the physical world, symbols of a dream to escape, to begin anew. So let your mind drift. Let it become an ocean, vast and deep, and let our story be the islands that rise gently from its surface. Close your eyes, if you haven't already. Let the darkness behind your eyelids be the deep, quiet water that will carry us on our way. Our journey begins with a simple question, a question that feels almost too simple to ask. What truly is an island? The definition is straightforward, of course, a piece of land, surrounded on all sides by water. But this simple definition holds within it an entire universe of meaning. An island's identity is not defined by its own substance, by its rock or its soil. It is defined by what it is not. It is defined by the ocean. The water is its boundary, its isolation, its protection, and its constant, patient adversary, forever shaping and reshaping its edges. Think of the largest island, Greenland, a vast continent of ice and rock, adrift in the cold northern seas. A world of its own, defined by the Arctic waters. Now, think of the smallest, a mere speck of rock barely large enough for a single seabird to rest upon. A lonely punctuation mark in the endless sentence of the sea. Both are islands. Both share that fundamental state of being separate, of being a world apart. This separation is the key to their story. To understand their stories, we must first understand that there are two great families of islands, born in entirely different ways. The first family are the continental islands. These are the lost children of the great land masses. They are fragments, pieces that were once connected but are now adrift. Imagine a time, long ago, when the seas were lower. Great Britain was not an island, but a peninsula of Europe, connected by a bridge of land. As the great ice sheets of the last ice age melted, the sea level slowly, patiently rose. It flooded the lowlands, filled the valleys, and crept inland. Eventually, the water severed the final connection. The peninsula became an island. It was not born so much as it was revealed, isolated by the rising tide of time. These continental islands are like memories of the mainland. They carry the same geology, the same ancient rocks, and often the same plants and animals, now marooned. They are echoes of a world that once was, a geological past preserved by the moat of the sea. They are defined by a connection that was lost. Then there is the other family, the more dramatic, the more mysterious. These are the oceanic islands, and they were never connected to anything. They are born alone in the middle of the great waters. They are the children of fire, born from the planet's molten heart. These islands are volcanoes. They begin their lives on the deep, dark floor of the ocean, thousands of feet below the surface, where the sun has never reached. Here, a crack in the Earth's crust, a hot spot of immense heat and pressure, begins to push molten rock or magma upwards. The magma meets the crushing cold and pressure of the deep ocean. It cools instantly, forming a hard, glassy crust, like a pillow of black rock. Eruption after eruption, for millions of years, this process repeats, pillow upon pillow of lava, building upon itself, layer by slow layer. An undersea mountain, a seamount, begins to grow, rising from the abyssal plain, climbing slowly, patiently, through the perpetual twilight of the deep sea. For millennia, it grows in darkness, unknown and unseen, a secret mountain, building its way towards a world it has never known. And then, one day, after an impossibly long journey, the peak of this great mountain finally breaks the surface of the water. In a plume of steam and ash, a new island is born into the world. A piece of land that has never existed before, raw and new, in the middle of the endless ocean. And so, the question becomes, what happens next? How does this sterile, empty world of cooling rock ever come to be a place of life? This newborn island is a world of harsh and beautiful contrasts. It is a canvas of pure potential, painted in charcoal black and deep gray. The rock, still warm from its violent birth, meets the cool, salty air for the first time. There is no soil, only crushed volcanic glass and jagged stone. The only sound is the hiss of the waves against the shore and the whisper of the wind over the barren slopes. It is a sterile paradise, a silent monument of new earth, waiting for a story to begin. Life, for now, is a distant rumor, a memory carried on the sea breeze from continents thousands of miles away. The first challenge for this new land is its own substance. The volcanic rock is rich in minerals, a feast for any plant that could take root, but it is locked away in a solid crystalline form. The rock must be broken down, weathered, and transformed, and the first agent of this transformation is water. Rain falls from the sky, pooling in the crevices of the new rock. It is slightly acidic, and over immense timescales, it begins the patient work of dissolving the stone, molecule by molecule, releasing the locked-up nutrients. The sea itself contributes, with a relentless crash of waves grinding rock into sand. The sun is the second great force of change. It beats down on the dark rock, heating it during the day, causing it to expand. At night, the rock cools and contracts. This endless cycle of heating and cooling, repeated millions of times, creates microscopic fractures in the stone. Water seeps into these tiny cracks, and the cycle continues, with the water acting like a gentle wedge. It is a process so slow, it is invisible to a human lifetime, yet so powerful it can turn a mountain into dust. The island is being tenderized, prepared for the first touch of life. So the stage is set, a sterile landscape of rock and sand, battered by wind, washed by rain, and baked by the sun. It is a fortress, seemingly impenetrable. But life is a persistent traveler. It has mastered the art of crossing impossible distances. The colonization of this new island will depend on three great couriers, three ancient forces of dispersal that have been seeding the world for eons. They are the wind, the water, and the wings of birds. Each will bring its own precious cargo, its own pioneers to this lonely outpost. The Great Migration is about to begin. The first arrivals are microscopic, invisible to the eye. They are carried by the wind. High in the jet stream, bacteria, fungal spores, and the dust-like seeds of mosses and ferns drift for thousands of miles. They are impossibly light, resilient travelers on the atmospheric currents. Most will fall into the endless ocean, their journey ending in the blue void. But by sheer chance, a tiny fraction will find their way to this new land. They land on the damp, cooling rock, the first living things to touch this virgin world. They are the vanguard of a green invasion. Among these first arrivals, the most important are the lichens. A lichen is not a single organism, but a remarkable partnership, a symbiosis between a fungus and an alga. The fungus provides a structure, a physical anchor that can cling to the bare rock. The alga, in return, can photosynthesize. It can take the raw energy of the sun and turn it into food. Together, they are the ultimate pioneers. They require no soil, only rock, sunlight, moisture, and air. They begin to grow, forming slow, beautiful crusts of gray, green, and orange on the black volcanic stone. While the lichens perform their slow alchemy on the high slopes, the sea brings its own colonists to the shore. The ocean currents are great, winding rivers, carrying debris from distant lands. A log, torn from a faraway forest in a storm, may drift for years before washing ashore on the island's new beach. Clinging to its bark or hiding within its crevices might be the eggs of insects or small salt-tolerant spiders. A floating coconut, a masterpiece of natural engineering, can survive for months at sea, its tough, waterproof husk protecting the precious life within, ready to germinate in the new sand. These arrivals from the sea are a game of chance on an oceanic scale. For every one seed that makes it, millions are lost. Sometimes, whole rafts of tangled vegetation, ripped from a river delta in a flood, will make the journey, carrying a small, accidental ecosystem of plants, insects, and even small reptiles. These floating islands become lifeboats, carrying a fragment of an old world to a new one. The shoreline of the volcanic island, once sterile, slowly becomes a nursery, a beachhead for the patient forces of life arriving from across the water. The wind and the water have brought the foundations of a new ecosystem. They have delivered the microscopic builders and the hardy coastal pioneers. But to truly transform the island, to move life from the water's edge to the high volcanic slopes, a new courier is needed, one that can travel faster and further and with more intention. The second wave of colonists will arrive not on the breeze or the current, but on the wing. The birds are coming, and they will be the great gardeners of this new world. At first, the island is just a landmark for seabirds on their long migratory journeys, a place to rest. They circle the high, barren peaks, perhaps confused by this new intrusion into their empty world of sea and sky. They land on the cliffs, their calls the first animal sounds to echo across the landscape. They find little to eat, but they find safety from ocean predators, a place to wait out a storm. Their visits are fleeting, temporary, but with every visit they leave something behind. They bring the gift of fertility. The birds' droppings, known as guano, are incredibly rich in nitrogen and phosphates, essential nutrients that are scarce on the new volcanic rock. Where they land, they deposit this natural fertilizer. It washes into the cracks where the first mosses and lichens are growing. It enriches the thin, nascent soil that is forming. It is a catalyst, accelerating the slow work of the pioneers. The birds are unintentionally preparing the ground, terraforming the island with every brief stopover, making it more hospitable for the very things they will one day need to survive here. Eventually, a bird will arrive carrying more than just nutrients. It might have eaten berries on a continent 1,000 miles away, and within its digestive system are the tough, indigestible seeds. It lands on the island and deposits the seed, perfectly packaged in its own small patch of fertilizer. Or a seed might be stuck in the mud on its feet, or caught in the fine filaments of its feathers. This method of transport is far more effective than the wind. It can carry larger, heavier seeds, the seeds of shrubs and trees, to the island's interior. The first seed to successfully germinate in the island's interior is a moment of profound significance. A small, green shoot pushing its way up through the volcanic grit, enriched by guano and the decay of ancient lichens. It is likely a hardy plant, a species evolved to withstand harsh winds and poor soil. But it is a foothold. Its roots will begin to anchor the loose material, preventing erosion. Its leaves will capture sunlight, and when they fall, they will decay and contribute to the growing layer of humus, the dark, rich organic matter that is the lifeblood of healthy soil. As more plants begin to grow, they create microclimates. Their leaves provide shade, keeping the ground beneath them cooler and more moist. They act as windbreaks, protecting more delicate plants that begin to grow in their shelter. The process of colonization begins to accelerate. What began with a single spore of lichen now becomes a community of organisms, each one creating conditions that allow the next to arrive and thrive. The island is beginning to breathe. It is developing a thin, green skin, a living biosphere laid over its heart of stone. This new vegetation provides a new resource, food. Insects that arrived on driftwood now have plants to eat and pollen to gather. This, in turn, provides a food source for the birds. Now, they are no longer just temporary visitors. They can stay. They can build nests, lay eggs, and raise their young. The island is no longer just a resting place. It has become a home. A permanent colony of birds is established, and with them, the rate of fertilization and seed dispersal increases exponentially. The island's transformation from black to green begins to pick up its pace. Every island's story of colonization is unique. The specific plants and animals that arrive depend entirely on the nearest continent. The islands of Hawaii, the most isolated archipelago on Earth, developed a truly unique collection of life, as only the most remarkable travelers could ever complete the journey. The Galapagos Islands, much closer to South America, received a different set of colonists, which would then embark on their own incredible evolutionary journey. The island becomes a laboratory, a closed system, where life can experiment and adapt in isolation. The concept that emerges from this process is called island biogeography. It is the study of how life gets to islands and what happens to it once it's there. A simple rule begins to emerge. Larger islands, being a bigger target, tend to collect more species. And islands that are closer to the mainland also receive more colonists than those that are further away. It is a beautiful and predictable dance between distance and size, a mathematical formula that governs the richness and diversity of life on these isolated worlds. But isolation does something else. It is a powerful engine of evolution. A small population of birds that arrives on an island is cut off from its relatives on the mainland. Over thousands of generations, it begins to adapt to its new home. Its beak might change shape to better eat a newly available seed. Its colors might change to blend in with a different type of forest. Slowly, imperceptibly, it becomes a new species, unique to that one island and found nowhere else on Earth. This is the magic of islands. They are not just refuges, they are cradles of creation. This is why islands are so often home to strange and wonderful creatures. The giant tortoises of the Galapagos, the flightless birds of New Zealand, the lemurs of Madagascar. These are all the result of life arriving on an island and being left alone, free to follow its own evolutionary path, insulated from the competition of the wider world. The island's moat of water becomes a barrier that protects this slow, creative process, allowing for the development of life forms that seem like they are from another world. They are living stories of a unique journey. The creation of soil continues, layer by patient layer. The roots of the growing trees and shrubs delve deeper, breaking apart the rock below. The canopy of leaves creates a humid, sheltered environment on the forest floor, where fallen leaves can decompose more quickly. Worms and insects, arriving as eggs in mud on a bird's foot, begin their own vital work, churning the soil, aerating it, making it richer and deeper. The island is developing its own circulatory system, its own metabolism. It is becoming a fully functioning, self-sustaining world. With soil comes the ability to hold water. Before, rain would simply run off the bare rock and back to the sea. Now, the soil acts like a sponge, absorbing the rainfall and holding it. This groundwater seeps slowly through the earth, feeding the roots of the plants during dry periods. It might even gather in underground channels and emerge lower down the mountain as a spring, the source of the island's first stream. The stream carves a path to the sea, creating new habitats along its banks and completing the island's water cycle. This entire process, from the first lichen to a complete, self-sustaining forest ecosystem, is called ecological succession. It is one of nature's most beautiful and patient stories. It is a story of connections, of how the smallest organism can pave the way for the largest, of how life builds on itself, creating complexity and stability out of sterile simplicity. The island, born of violent fire, has been patiently tamed by the gentle, persistent, and collaborative forces of life. Its harsh black surface is now covered in a soft blanket of green. And so the island matures. It finds a balance. A climax community of plants and animals is established. The birds soar over the canopy. The insects buzz in the shaded undergrowth, and the streams murmur on their journey to the sea. The island is a symphony of life, a complete world in miniature, born from the sea and seeded from the sky. It is a testament to the incredible resilience of life and its relentless drive to fill every empty corner of the world. It is a story of how a place that was once the middle of nowhere becomes the center of its own universe. This process repeats itself all over the world, from the cold, wind-swept Aleutian Islands in the north to the warm, coral-fringed islands of the South Pacific. Each has its own story of birth and colonization. Some islands are not born of fire, but of life itself. These are the coral atolls, built over millennia by the skeletons of tiny marine animals. They are a different kind of island, built not from the planet's core, but from the patient accumulation of countless small lives. Their story is one of the ocean building its own land. A coral atoll begins with an oceanic volcano. Just like the islands we have been discussing, the volcano rises from the seafloor, and after it becomes dormant, a fringe of coral begins to grow around its submerged shoreline in the warm, shallow, sunlit waters. Corals are tiny animals, polyps, that build a hard limestone skeleton around themselves for protection. They live in huge colonies, and as old polyps die, new ones build on top of their skeletons. Over thousands of years, this process creates a vast and complex structure, a coral reef. The reef grows around the volcanic island, forming a ring, but the volcano itself, being immensely heavy, slowly begins to sink back into the Earth's crust under its own weight. The island subsides. As the central peak sinks, the coral reef continues to grow upwards, always staying in that ideal sunlit zone near the surface of the water. The volcanic island gets smaller and smaller, while the ring of coral continues its patient ascent, keeping pace with the sinking land. A lagoon of calm water forms between the shrinking island and the growing reef. Eventually, the original volcanic peak disappears completely beneath the waves, leaving only the ring of coral reef at the surface. Waves and storms break off pieces of the coral and grind them into fine, white sand. This sand, along with the shells of other marine creatures, begins to pile up on the highest parts of the reef. The wind pushes it into small dunes. A low, narrow circular island of brilliant white sand is formed, enclosing a tranquil turquoise lagoon where the mountain once stood. A coral atoll has been born. The colonization of this new sand-based island follows a similar pattern to its volcanic cousin, but it begins with salt-tolerant coastal plants whose seeds wash ashore. The coconut palm is a classic pioneer of the atoll. The birds arrive, bringing seeds from other islands and providing the nutrients needed to build up a thin layer of soil on top of the sand. Over time, a low, green forest can take hold. These islands are incredibly fragile, often rising only a few feet above sea level, held together by the roots of the plants that colonize them. So we have two great stories of island creation: the story of fire, where land is thrust up from the depths, and the story of life, where land is patiently built up towards the sky. Both result in these isolated worlds, these fragments of paradise or hardship, that have held such a powerful grip on the human imagination for all of our history. For as long as we have sailed the seas, islands have been a part of our story. They have been destinations, obstacles, homes, and dreams. They are woven into the fabric of our own journey of exploration. For early human navigators, in their canoes and small sailing vessels, islands were essential stepping stones. The vastness of the Pacific Ocean was not crossed in one single, heroic voyage, but in a series of shorter journeys from island to island. The Polynesians, perhaps the greatest navigators in history, read the stars, the ocean swells, and the flight paths of birds to find these tiny, scattered specks of land. Each island was a new beginning, a place to rest, resupply, and then set out again into the great, unknown blue. But for those who lived on them, the island was not a stepping stone, it was the entire world. Life was lived in relation to the sea. The sea provided food. The sea was the main highway for travel to other parts of the island. But the sea was also the boundary of the world. Beyond the horizon was the realm of gods, monsters, and ancestors. The island was a safe, known world in the center of a vast and mysterious universe. This sense of being at the center of everything, while also being profoundly isolated, is the great duality of island life. This isolation has shaped island cultures in profound ways. With limited resources, island societies often developed intricate systems of sustainability and cooperation. With limited space, they developed rich and complex social structures. Language, too, would drift and evolve in isolation. An island might develop its own unique dialect, and then its own language, a tongue spoken nowhere else on the planet, a verbal testament to its separation from the rest of the world. An island is not just a geological entity, but a vessel for culture. Of course, islands have also been seen in a different light, not as a sanctuary, but as a prison, a place from which there is no easy escape. From Alcatraz to Devil's Island, the island as a natural fortress has been used by societies to contain those they deem dangerous or undesirable. The very water that provides life and sustenance becomes the wall of the cell. This idea taps into a deep human fear of being trapped, of being cut off from the world, of being forgotten by time on a lonely shore. And then there is the island of the imagination. The desert island of castaways, the treasure island of pirates, the hidden island paradise like Shangri-La or Utopia. In our stories, we use islands as a blank slate, a stage upon which we can play out our fantasies of survival, adventure, or the creation of a perfect society, far from the corrupting influence of the world. They are a place to begin again. The island in our minds is perhaps the most powerful island of all, a symbol of escape and endless possibility. This dream of the island paradise is a powerful one, a place of warm sun, gentle breezes, and abundant food. A place free from the stress and complexity of modern life. It is a vision of a return to a simpler state of being, a life lived in harmony with nature. This dream has launched countless voyages, both real and imaginary. It is a geography of hope, a belief that somewhere, over the horizon, there is a perfect place waiting for us, a place where we can finally be at peace. But the reality of island ecosystems is that they are often incredibly fragile. Because life on an island has evolved in isolation, it is often not equipped to deal with new arrivals. The introduction of a new predator like a rat or a cat from a sailing ship can be devastating to native bird populations that have never needed to defend against such threats. A new plant can become an invasive weed, choking out the native flora that have no defense against it. The island's isolation is both its strength and its greatest vulnerability. The story of islands in the modern era has often been one of these fragile worlds, colliding with the relentless connectivity of the rest of the planet. The very things that make islands special, their isolation and unique biology, also make them susceptible to change. Their story becomes a cautionary tale about the delicate balance of ecosystems and how easily that balance can be undone. Protecting these unique, miniature worlds has become one of the great challenges of our time. They are living museums of evolution, and they are irreplaceable. Consider the island of Madagascar. It broke off from the supercontinent Gondwana more than 160 million years ago and has been on its own ever since. This immense period of isolation allowed for the evolution of a truly unique collection of life. Over 90% of its wildlife is found nowhere else on Earth. The famous lemurs, the strange baobab trees, the colorful chameleons. It is like a separate continent, a world apart, where the story of evolution took a different path. It is one of the planet's greatest treasures. Or consider Socotra, an archipelago in the Indian Ocean, so isolated that a third of its plant life is endemic, meaning it is found nowhere else. It is famous for its bizarre dragon's blood trees, which look like giant, upside-down umbrellas and ooze a dark red resin. The landscape feels alien, otherworldly. To visit such a place is to feel like you have stepped onto another planet, or back into a prehistoric time. It is a powerful reminder of how isolation and time can work together to produce wonders of unimaginable beauty and strangeness. From the largest continental fragments to the smallest volcanic upstarts, each island holds these stories. Stories of geological time, of the patient work of water and wind, stories of incredible biological journeys, of life crossing vast oceans on a lottery of chance, and stories of human endeavor, of navigation, culture, and imagination. They are microcosms of the entire planet, containing within their shores all the great forces that have shaped our world: creation, colonization, evolution, and change. An island is never just a piece of land. It is a complete world. As our journey this evening begins to slow, let your mind rest on this idea of an island. Perhaps you can imagine your own, a place of quiet and sanctuary. Let the gentle sound of the waves be the boundary of this space, washing away any thoughts that no longer serve you. The constant, rhythmic sound of the sea is one of the oldest and most comforting sounds on Earth. It is the sound of the planet breathing, a slow, steady rhythm that has marked the passing of eons. Let it be the rhythm of your own breath now. Think of your bed as a comfortable island in the quiet sea of your room. You are safe here. You are anchored. The concerns of the day are on a distant shore, and they cannot reach you here. The gentle tide of sleep is slowly rising, and you can feel it gently lifting you, buoying you up. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, except right here, in this moment of perfect stillness and peace. Allow yourself to drift on this calm, quiet water. We have journeyed far tonight. From the fiery heart of the earth to the patient growth of a coral reef, we have witnessed the first lichens clinging to bare rock, and the great forests they helped to create. We have seen how life is a relentless and beautiful force, always seeking new shores, always finding a way. These grand, slow stories of the earth can help us find our own perspective. Our own lives and our own worries are part of a much larger, much older story. And in that realization, there can be a great sense of peace. The story of an island is a story of separation and connection. It is defined by its separation from the mainland, but it is created and sustained by its connection to the wider world through wind, water, and wings. It is a beautiful paradox. And perhaps we are all like islands in some way, unique in separate worlds, yet deeply connected to each other through invisible currents of family, friendship, and shared humanity. We are all individuals, but we are never truly alone. Let these thoughts dissolve now, like salt in the water. Let them become part of the vast, quiet ocean of your subconscious. The details are not important. What matters is the feeling of calm, the sense of wonder, and the gentle pull of deep restorative rest. Your body knows what to do. Your mind is ready to let go. You have done enough for today. It is time to rest. It is time to let the tide carry you out into the deep, peaceful ocean of sleep. The island is quiet now. The birds are asleep in the trees. The waves are just a soft whisper on the sand. The moon casts a gentle silver light over the landscape. A deep peace has settled over the world, and you can let that same deep peace settle over you. Feel the weight of your body sinking comfortably into your bed. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your own breathing. You are drifting now, drifting peacefully, drifting away. Thank you for joining me on this journey to the middle of nowhere. I hope it has brought you closer to a place of rest. I hope the story of these remote and beautiful worlds has provided a gentle pathway into your own quiet sanctuary of sleep. The geography of our world is full of wonder, but the most important journey tonight is the one you are taking now into the landscape of your dreams. Let my voice be the last gentle wave that washes over the shore of your consciousness. Let it recede, leaving behind only stillness and silence. There is nothing left to do but to surrender to the pull of sleep, to let go completely. Rest well. Dream deeply. The world will be here for you when you return, fresh and new in the morning light. For now, there is only this gentle, peaceful darkness. The story is over. Your journey is complete. Allow yourself now to sink into the deepest, most peaceful sleep. Good night. Let us linger for a moment on the concept of time as it is experienced on an island. There is the rapid, violent time of its birth, a geological instant of fire and steam. But then there is the other time, the slow time. It is the time measured by the erosion of a single grain of sand from a cliff face. It is the time it takes for a fallen leaf to become part of the soil. This is the dominant rhythm of the island, a pulse that is patient, deep, and unhurried. It is a time scale against which our own daily concerns seem to fade into insignificance. It invites us to release our own sense of urgency and to simply be. On the mainland, time can feel linear, a road stretching from a busy past to an anxious future. But on an island, surrounded by the cyclical motion of the tides and the seasons, time feels different. It feels circular. The tide comes in, the tide goes out. The sun rises from the sea, and it sets back into the sea. This endless repetition creates a profound sense of the eternal present. There is only today. There is only this moment. This gentle rhythm is an invitation to let go of yesterday and to cease planning for tomorrow. It is an invitation to simply exist right here, right now, in this peaceful, cyclical stillness. Consider the life of a great tree in the island's central forest. It began as a seed, carried on the wind or by a bird. It took root in the thin volcanic soil. For centuries, it has stood in this one spot, its rings marking not just years, but the passing of droughts, of storms, of long, quiet seasons of sunshine. Its roots hold the island together. Its leaves breathe with the sky. It is a silent, living monument to the island's slow, patient story. To rest under such a tree would be to feel the deep, slow pulse of the island's heart. A rhythm of profound and unwavering calm. Even the air on an island feels different. It has traveled for thousands of miles over open ocean. It is washed clean of the dust and haste of continents. It carries only the scent of salt and of the damp earth, and the faint perfume of the island's unique flowers. To breathe this air is to feel a sense of purity, of cleansing. With each breath, you can imagine this clean, sea-washed air filling your lungs. And with each exhale, you can release the accumulated dust of your day. A slow, gentle cleansing, breath by quiet breath, carried on the ocean breeze. The water that surrounds the island is its great isolator, but it is also its great connector. It is a pathway for the whale and the dolphin on their long migrations. It is the medium that carries the moonlight from the sky to the shore. It connects this single speck of land to every other shore on the planet through its deep, slow currents. The water is a symbol of the subconscious, a realm of depth, mystery, and connection. To gaze upon it is to feel a sense of both profound solitude and profound unity with the rest of the world. It is a quiet, liquid peace. The beaches of an island are a place of transition. They are the boundary between the solid world of land and the liquid world of the sea. Here, the hardest volcanic rock is patiently transformed into the softest sand. It is a place of constant, gentle change. Every wave brings something new, a shell, a piece of driftwood, a smooth sea stone, and every wave takes something away. To walk along such a beach is to walk along the edge of time itself, a place where beginnings and endings meet with every gentle surge of the tide. It is a place of release, where you can let things go. The story of the island is written in its geology. In the layers of a cliff face, you can read the history of different volcanic flows, some ancient and weathered, others more recent and sharp. You can see the dark veins of harder rock and the softer crumbling layers of ash. It is a book whose pages are made of stone and whose story is told over millions of years. This deep history, present in every rock and every hill, provides a profound sense of stability. The island has endured. It has weathered every storm. It is a foundation of immense strength and permanence. As night falls on the island, a different world awakens. The birds of the day fall silent, and the nocturnal creatures begin to stir. The air cools. The stars, with no city lights to compete with, emerge with an incredible, brilliant clarity. The Milky Way becomes a luminous river flowing across the vast, dark sky. The island, floating in the dark ocean, becomes like a ship sailing through a sea of stars. This celestial canopy connects the small, finite world of the island to the infinite, boundless universe. It is a humbling and deeply calming perspective. Let us imagine the quietest part of the island, a hidden cove protected from the wind, where the water is perfectly still. The only sound is the gentle lapping of the water against the sand, a sound like a slow, steady heartbeat. The moonlight filters through the trees, creating soft patterns of silver and shadow on the forest floor. This is a place of absolute sanctuary, a place where the world seems to hold its breath. You can bring your awareness to such a place in your mind, a quiet cove of your own, where you can find perfect stillness and peace. The life that has adapted to the island has learned the art of patience. The native plants grow slowly, conserving their energy. The animals have smaller territories, their lives lived within a smaller frame. There is a sense of economy and peace to the island's ecosystem. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is hurried. It is a perfectly balanced system, honed by millennia of isolation. This natural, unhurried pace is the island's greatest lesson. It teaches us the wisdom of slowness, the strength in patience, and the beauty of a simple, balanced existence. Let us listen now, not with our ears, but with our imagination, to the soundscape of the island. Let us first listen to the water. It is not one sound, but a symphony. There is the deep, resonant boom of a large wave breaking on a distant reef. There is the soft, rhythmic shushing sound of that same wave as its foam spreads across a sandy beach. And there is the gentle, percussive clatter of water moving through a shore of smooth, round pebbles. Each sound tells a story of the meeting of water and land, a constant, soothing conversation. Now let us listen to the sound of the wind. It, too, is not a single voice. As it moves over the open ocean, it is a low, steady hum, the sound of vastness. As it passes through the needles of tall, coastal pines, it becomes a high, soft whisper. And as it rustles the broad leaves of the trees in a sheltered valley, it is a gentle, rustling murmur, like the turning of pages in a very old book. The wind is the island's breath. a constant presence that speaks of distance, of travel, and of the unceasing movement of the world's atmosphere. Deeper inland, we can hear the sounds of life, the calls of the island's unique birds, not a chaotic noise, but a delicate, spaced-out series of notes and melodies that echo through the forest. Perhaps there's the gentle, repetitive chirp of an insect, a rhythmic pulse that is like a natural metronome for the island's slow pace. And we can hear the sound of a stream, a constant, gentle murmur as it flows over mossy rocks on its endless journey from the high slopes down to the waiting sea. These are the sounds of a world at peace with itself. There are also the sounds of silence, the deep, profound quiet of the island's heart at midday, when the sun is high and the air is still, the silence of the forest floor cushioned by centuries of fallen leaves, the silence of the deep, clear water in a freshwater pool. In these silences, you can feel the age of the island. You can feel its solid, reassuring presence beneath your feet. It is a silence that is not empty but full of peace, full of history, and full of the promise of deep, uninterrupted rest. Even the rock of the island has a sound, though it is too slow for us to hear. It is the sound of cooling and contracting at night, the sound of a single crystal shifting under immense pressure deep within the earth, the sound of a root from a tiny seedling exerting its patient, irresistible force to split the stone. It is the sound of geological time, a bass note so deep and slow that it underpins all the other, faster sounds of the island. To feel this sound is to feel a connection to the very bones of the world. The sound of the rain on an island is another of its lullabies. It begins as a soft patter on the broad leaves of the forest canopy, a gentle drumming that is diffused and softened by the vegetation. The drops that make it to the forest floor land with a soft tap on the damp earth. On the shore, the rain meets the sea, and a million tiny circles appear on the water's surface, each one a note in a soft, percussive symphony. The sound of rain is the sound of cleansing, of renewal, and of the world settling down to rest. Let these imagined sounds become a blanket of comfort for you. The deep boom of the waves, the soft whisper of the wind, the gentle murmur of the stream. Let them wash over you, just as the waves wash over the shore, smoothing away the sharp edges of your day. These are the sounds of nature's eternal rhythms, and by attuning to them, you can find your own natural rhythm of rest. There is no need to hold on to any single sound. Just let them blend together into a single, peaceful hum, the gentle lullaby of the island. The island's soundscape is a testament to what is present, but also to what is absent. There are no sounds of traffic, no sirens, no hum of machinery. The absence of these sounds is a presence in itself. It is a space, a quiet canvas, upon which the gentle sounds of nature can be painted. It allows your auditory sense to rest, to stop filtering out noise, and to simply receive the peaceful sounds of the world. This deep quiet is a form of nourishment for the mind, allowing it to settle and become still. Under the water, there is another soundscape entirely. It is a muffled, gentle world. The crash of the waves on the surface is just a distant, rumbling thunder. Here, you might hear the soft, clicking sounds of shrimp, or the gentle scraping of a fish grazing on coral. It is a world of slow, deliberate sounds, insulated from the sky and the wind. To imagine this underwater world is to imagine a state of deep, suspended peace, a place where you are held and supported by the gentle pressure of the deep, quiet water. As you drift deeper now, let all these sounds begin to fade. Let them become more distant, as if you are walking away from the shore and heading into the quiet, cushioned silence of the island's deep interior. The sounds of the world are receding, and the sound of your own quiet, gentle breathing is becoming the only rhythm that matters. It is a soft, steady, reassuring sound. The sound of your body beginning its important work of rest and restoration. It is the only sound you need to attend to now. We all have islands within us, islands of calm in the midst of a stressful day. Islands of cherished memory, which we can visit in our minds to find comfort. Islands of quiet, where we can retreat from the noise of the world and simply be with ourselves. Your journey into sleep is a journey to one of these internal islands. It is a familiar shore, a safe harbor that you can return to every night. You know the way. Your body is the vessel, and your breath is the gentle tide that carries you there. Sometimes, during a busy day, we might feel like a lonely archipelago, a scattered collection of thoughts and obligations. The process of falling asleep is like the slow rising of the sea. It connects all of these separate islands of thought. The water rises, the boundaries dissolve, and everything becomes one single, calm, unified ocean of consciousness. You can let the boundaries of your thoughts soften now. You can let them merge into one another, losing their sharp edges, becoming part of a single, peaceful whole. The island of the present moment is the most important sanctuary of all. It is always available to us, no matter where we are. It requires only that we let go of the past, which is a distant continent we have already sailed from, and to let go of the future, which is a shore we have not yet reached. To be on the island of the present moment is to feel the sand beneath your feet, to hear the sound of the waves right now. It is to feel your breath as it is right now. This is where true rest is found. In our dreams, we become the ultimate navigators, exploring islands of pure imagination. These are places built from the fragments of our day, from our hopes, and from our deepest memories. The subconscious mind is like a vast ocean, and dreams are the strange and beautiful islands that rise from its surface during the night. To fall asleep is to set sail on this ocean, with a sense of trust and curiosity, ready to explore the landscapes that your own mind has created for you. It is a private, personal, and restorative journey. An island can be a metaphor for a difficult feeling, a sense of isolation or loneliness. But the geographical story of the island reminds us that nothing is truly isolated. The island is connected to the whole world by the ocean and the atmosphere. It is part of a single dynamic system. In the same way, even when we feel alone, we are connected to others through invisible currents of shared experience. To rest is to trust in these connections, to feel yourself as part of a larger whole, held and supported by the world. Let the island of your bed be a place of perfect safety. Just as the island's plants and animals evolved in isolation, free from mainland predators, you can let this space be free from the predators of worry and anxiety. They cannot cross the water to reach you here. You can post a gentle guard at the shore of your consciousness and decide that for tonight, only thoughts that are peaceful and calm are allowed to land. You have the power to create your own sanctuary, to define the boundaries of your own peace. The core of a volcanic island is solid, ancient, and immensely strong. It is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Within you, too, there is a core of stillness and strength. It may sometimes be hidden beneath the surface activity of your thoughts and feelings, but it is always there. As you relax, you can feel yourself sinking down, past the surface chatter, down to this deep, quiet core of your own being. It is a place of profound stability. It is the source of your resilience. It is your own personal bedrock. Imagine your thoughts are clouds passing over the island. Some are light and wispy, some are darker and heavier. But you are not the clouds. You are the island itself. You can observe these thoughts as they drift by, knowing they are temporary, just like the weather. They will pass. The sky will clear. The island remains, solid and enduring, beneath the changing sky. You can rest in this enduring quality of your own awareness, a silent witness to the passing weather of your mind. The island has given itself over to the night. Its metabolism has slowed. The flowers have closed their petals. The leaves have ceased their photosynthesis. It is a time of rest and integration. Your body understands this rhythm. It knows that the night is a time for repair, for digestion, for the quiet, unseen work of healing and restoration. You do not need to manage this process. You only need to provide the right conditions, the conditions of stillness and peace, and your body's innate wisdom will do the rest. To fall asleep is an act of trust. It is an act of letting go. You are trusting that the world will continue to turn. You are trusting that the sun will rise again. You are letting go of the need to control, the need to manage, the need to be vigilant. For these next few hours, you can surrender your responsibilities. You can hand them over to the quiet custody of the night. This surrender is not a weakness, but a profound act of wisdom, a recognition that rest is not an indulgence, but an essential part of the cycle of life. Let us journey now, below the surface of the water, down the submerged slopes of the island. As we descend, the light from the surface begins to fade. The vibrant colors of the shallow reef give way to a world of deep blues and soft grays. The water becomes calmer, insulated from the wind and waves above. The pressure gently increases, a feeling like a soft, reassuring hug. It is a world of quiet, of slowness, and of deep, deep peace. This descent into the ocean's twilight zone is like the first stage of sleep. We continue deeper. The last of the sunlight is gone. We are now in the midnight zone, a world of perpetual darkness. The only light here is the light that life itself creates. The gentle, pulsing glow of a jellyfish. The slow drift of bioluminescent plankton, like underwater stars. It is a silent, magical world. The creatures here move slowly, conserving their energy in the cold, still water. It is a place beyond the reach of the busy world, a realm of pure, undisturbed tranquility. A place where time itself seems to slow down, almost to a stop. The slopes of the undersea mountain continue down, down into the abyss. They are covered in a fine, soft sediment, the accumulated dust of millennia. It is the final resting place of shells and skeletons of tiny marine creatures that lived and died in the waters above. It is a blanket of history, soft and deep. To imagine resting here would be to feel the ultimate sense of quiet. The silence is absolute. The darkness is complete. It is the peace of the very deep, a stillness that has remained undisturbed for eons. Here, at the base of the island, where it meets the great, flat expanse of the ocean floor, is its true foundation. We often think of an island as only what we can see above the water. But the vast majority of its structure, its true size and strength, is hidden from view in the deep. It is a reminder that the most important foundations are often unseen. Your own peace and strength have foundations that run deep within you, far below the surface of your conscious mind. As you sleep, you are reconnecting with these deep, hidden sources of strength. The deep ocean currents, the great thermohaline circulation, move like slow, majestic rivers around the base of the island. They are driven by differences in temperature and salinity. These currents are the planet's circulatory system, moving heat and nutrients around the globe. They are immensely powerful, yet they move with an unimaginable slowness. To feel this deep, slow current is to feel the patient, powerful pulse of the planet itself. It is a rhythm that is profoundly grounding and deeply reassuring. Let your awareness now begin its slow ascent. Up from the deep, dark abyss, back into the twilight zone. The darkness begins to soften. A faint, deep blue light begins to appear from far above. You are rising gently, effortlessly. You are leaving the deepest stages of sleep and moving into the dream-filled layers that are closer to the surface. It is a gentle, weightless journey back towards the world of light, but there is no hurry. You are simply drifting upwards on a slow, comfortable current. As you rise, you pass through the layers of the sea, just as you pass through the layers of your own consciousness. Each level has its own unique ecosystem, its own unique quality of light. In the same way, your mind has different depths, different states of being. The journey of sleep is an exploration of these internal worlds, a nightly migration through the different levels of yourself. It is a process of visiting every part of your own being, bringing to it the healing touch of rest. The surface is getting closer now. The light is becoming stronger, more defined. You can see the shimmering, silvery ceiling of the water's surface from below. It moves with a gentle, hypnotic rhythm, a liquid mirror reflecting a sky you cannot yet see. This is the boundary between the inner world of sleep and the outer world of wakefulness. You can linger here for a while in this peaceful transitional space, enjoying the feeling of being suspended between two worlds, held in perfect, gentle balance. The story of the island, from its fiery birth to its green maturity, from its highest peak to its deepest foundation, is a complete journey. It is a story of transformation, of patience, and of the emergence of a complex and beautiful world from a simple and violent beginning. Your own nightly journey of sleep is also a story of transformation. You let go of the complex, active world of your day, and you descend into a simple, quiet state of being so that you can emerge in the morning, renewed and restored. The final shore of our journey is now in sight. It is the shore of deep and dreamless sleep. It is a place of soft sand and gentle, lapping waves. It is a place of profound rest and release. You can feel your vessel, your body, gently coming to rest on this shore. You can feel the journey is complete. There is nowhere else to go. You have arrived. You can let the anchor of sleep drop into the calm, still water, holding you safe and secure until the morning comes. The narrative is dissolving now. The words are becoming softer, more spaced out. They're becoming just sounds, gentle waves of vibration in the quiet air. You do not need to follow their meaning any longer. Let them be a soft, rhythmic texture, a gentle current to keep you anchored in this peaceful state. The story has served its purpose. It has guided you to the edge of this quiet ocean. Now it is time for the story to fall silent, and for the deep, healing silence of sleep to take its place. All that remains is the simple sensation of your own breathing, a gentle rise and a gentle fall, an easy, effortless rhythm. It is the most natural rhythm in the world. It is the rhythm of life itself. Let it be your focus, but only for a moment. Feel how it requires no effort. It happens all on its own. It is a gentle, internal tide, pulling you deeper and deeper into a state of perfect calm. You can trust this rhythm completely. It will carry you safely through the night. Every part of your body is growing heavier now, a pleasant, comfortable heaviness. Your limbs feel heavy and deeply relaxed. Your head feels heavy on the pillow. It is the feeling of gravity, the gentle, reassuring pull of the earth. It is a reminder that you are grounded, you are supported. You can let go of all tension, of all holding, and allow yourself to be completely held by the surface beneath you. There is nothing to hold on to. Just let go. Let go completely. The island sleeps. The forest is dark and still. The ocean breathes its slow, steady rhythm against the shore. The entire world seems to be conspiring to bring you this moment of peace. It is a gift you can give to yourself every night, the gift of rest, the gift of letting go, the gift of renewal. You are worthy of this gift. You have earned this peace, and all you have to do to receive it is to do nothing at all. Simply allow it to enfold you. The thoughts that may still arise are like distant birds flying across the horizon of your mind. You do not need to follow them. You do not need to identify them. Just watch them pass from one side to the other until they disappear from view. Your mind is becoming a wide, open sky, vast, clear, and peaceful. There is so much space here, so much quiet, so much room for deep, deep rest. The boundary between your body and the space around you may begin to feel less defined. You might feel as though you are floating in a warm, comfortable space. This is a sign of deep relaxation. It is a sign that you are letting go of the edges of yourself and merging with the peace that surrounds you. Go with this feeling. Let it expand. Let the peace that is around you become the peace that is within you. There is no separation. There is only peace. The journey is ending. The voice is fading. The world is receding. You are now at the threshold of sleep, a doorway into a place of perfect quiet. You can cross this threshold with a sense of ease and confidence. It is a familiar, safe passage. Step through the doorway now, into the deep, dark, silent room of restorative sleep. Close the door gently behind you. You are safe, you are sound, you are deeply, deeply at peace. The final embers of consciousness are glowing softly, ready to fade into the soft darkness of the night. There is only a deep sense of comfort, a feeling of being exactly where you are supposed to be. Let the last ember of thought gently extinguish itself, leaving behind only the warm, velvety darkness. This darkness is not empty, it is full of potential. It is the fertile soil from which the new day will eventually grow. Rest in this fertile darkness. And so, we leave our island. We leave it to its deep, geological slumber under the silent watch of the stars. It will be here when we awaken, but for now, we leave it behind. Our exploration is complete. Your own journey for tonight is also complete. You have arrived at your destination, the quiet harbor of sleep. Let your ship be still. Let the waters be calm. Rest now, just rest. The final thought is one of gratitude. Gratitude for the day that has passed. Gratitude for this moment of rest. Gratitude for the quiet miracle of sleep. Let this gentle feeling of gratitude be the last thing you are aware of as you drift away completely. It is a soft, warm pillow on which to rest your mind. Sleep well, and a very, very good night. Let us return for a moment to the island shore. It is a place of meeting, a line drawn by the patient hand of the sea. But it is also a mirror. The wet sand, after a wave recedes, holds a perfect, fleeting reflection of the sky. The clouds, the last light of dusk, the first star, all are captured for a moment on the earth. It is a reminder that the island, in its solitude, is never truly alone. It is in constant dialogue with the sky, the sea, the universe. In the same way, in your own quiet solitude, you are a reflection of the world, holding its beauty within your own consciousness. Consider the crabs that move along this shoreline. They live their lives in this transitional space between the safety of the land and the abundance of the sea. Their movements are dictated by the rhythm of the tides, a dance as old as the moon. They are small, armored creatures, perfectly adapted to their narrow world. Their existence is a quiet lesson in finding one's place, in understanding the rhythms that govern your world, and moving in harmony with them. As you rest, you are finding your own harmony with the great, slow rhythm of the night, a tide that pulls you gently toward renewal. High on the island's cliffs, seabirds have carved out their homes. They are masters of two elements, the solid rock and the unpredictable air. They raise their young on these precarious ledges. Surrounded by the immensity of the sea and sky, their cries are a lonely, wild sound, a declaration of life in a harsh and beautiful place. They represent a kind of fierce resilience, an ability to find sanctuary in the most exposed of places. There is a strength in this, a reminder that we can find our own solid ground, our own place of safety, even when surrounded by the vast and unknown. The caves of an island are its secret places, its memories. Carved by the relentless action of the waves over millennia, they are hollows within the island's solid heart. The air inside is cool and damp. The sound of the sea outside is transformed into a deep, resonant boom, a sound you feel as much as you hear. These caves are wombs of stone and water, places of gestation and quiet. To retreat into such a space is to retreat into the deep, quiet history of the island itself, to be held in its ancient, geological embrace. In the highest mountains of a large tropical island, a unique ecosystem can be found, the cloud forest. Here, the island is tall enough to touch the clouds, which drift through the trees, bathing everything in a soft, diffused light and a constant, gentle moisture. The trees are draped in mosses, lichens, and ferns, giving the forest an ancient, enchanted feeling. It is a world of perpetual twilight, and hushed quiet. To imagine yourself here is to feel a sense of profound peace, to be wrapped in a soft, cool blanket of mist, insulated from the outside world. The island's fresh water, born from the rain that falls on its high peaks, is its lifeblood. It gathers in streams that carve their way through the volcanic rock, creating waterfalls that cascade into deep, clear pools. These pools are oases of calm within the island's interior. The water is cool and pure, filtered by the rock and soil. To rest by such a pool is to be at the very source of the island's vitality. It is a place of cleansing and renewal, a reminder of the pure, clear source of peace that exists within your own being, always available, always flowing. Let's consider the colors of the island. There is the deep, basalt black of the newest rock, a color of pure potential and beginnings. There is the rich, dark brown of the developing soil, the color of fertility and history. There is the vibrant, living green of the forest, the color of life, growth, and balance. And there is the brilliant turquoise blue of the shallow lagoon, a color of calm, clarity, and peace. Allow these colors to wash over your mind's eye, a gentle, soothing palette that paints a landscape of deep and profound rest. The roots of the island's trees form a complex, hidden network beneath the soil. They are the unseen foundation of the forest. They communicate with each other, sharing nutrients and information. They hold the soil in place, preventing the island from washing back into the sea. This hidden world is a metaphor for the quiet, unseen processes that support our own lives. The deep connections of family and friendship, the strength of our inner resources. As you sleep, you are tending to these deep roots, strengthening the foundations of your own well-being. The concept of an island teaches us about boundaries. The shoreline is a clear, physical boundary, but it is a boundary that is constantly in flux, constantly being redefined by the tide. It is not a rigid wall, but a soft, breathing edge. This can be a gentle lesson for our own minds. We can have our boundaries, the things that keep us safe and centered, but we can also allow them to be soft, to be flexible, to be in a gentle, rhythmic dialogue with the world around us. A soft boundary is a healthy boundary, one that allows for both protection and connection. Many islands do not exist in total isolation, but as part of a larger chain, an archipelago. They are like beads on a string, each one a unique world, yet connected to its neighbors by the shallow sea and a shared geological history. To journey through an archipelago is to experience a rhythm of land and water, arrival and departure. It is a reminder that even in our separateness, we are part of a larger family, a larger pattern. Your own quiet breaths, rising and falling, are a part of the larger breathing of the world, a connected and harmonious rhythm. Imagine the life of a single coral polyp. It is a tiny, simple animal, living a stationary life on the reef. Yet, when it joins with millions of others, it creates a structure so vast it can be seen from space. It is a testament to the power of quiet, patient, collective action. It reminds us that our own small, seemingly insignificant actions, when repeated with patience and consistency, can build something vast and beautiful over time. The act of resting, each night, is one such action. You are building a vast reef of well-being, one quiet night at a time. The light on an island is particularly special. Unfiltered by continental haze, it has a sharp, beautiful clarity. The golden hour, just after sunrise and just before sunset, is especially magical. The light becomes warm and soft, casting long, gentle shadows. It illuminates the landscape with a painterly glow, making the familiar world seem new and sacred. You can let this warm, golden light fill your mind now. A soft, healing light that soothes and calms everything it touches, dissolving any remaining shadows of the day. The shadow of the island itself is a profound geographical feature. As the sun sets, the island casts a vast, triangular shadow onto the clouds and atmosphere to its east, a phenomenon known as a mountain shadow. For a few minutes, the island projects its own shape onto the sky. It is a fleeting, beautiful moment of self-portraiture. It speaks to the impact even a small, isolated place can have on the world around it. Your own quiet presence, your own state of peace, can cast its own gentle shadow, bringing a sense of calm to the world around you. The idea of a message in a bottle is inextricably linked with islands. The fantasy of sending a piece of yourself out into the vast unknown, hoping it will find a distant shore. It is a gesture of hope against the immensity of the ocean. It is a belief in connection across impossible distances. The stories we tell ourselves, the dreams we have, are like these messages. We send them out into the vast ocean of our subconscious, trusting that they will find their purpose, that they will carry a message of hope and intention through the darkness of the night. Some islands are ephemeral. They are sandbars that appear and disappear with the seasons and the tides. Or they are floating islands of vegetation. Or they are new volcanic islands that rise from the sea and are quickly eroded back into the waves. These temporary islands teach us about impermanence. They remind us that not everything is meant to last forever. There is a beauty in the fleeting, in the temporary. A passing thought, a gentle feeling of calm. They are like these ephemeral islands. Enjoy them for the moment they are here, without needing to cling to them. The fog that sometimes blankets an island is a magical thing. It rolls in from the sea, swallowing the landscape in a soft gray silence. The world shrinks. The horizon disappears. There is only the immediate, muffled present. It is an experience that can be deeply calming. The fog simplifies the world, removing all distractions. It invites you to turn your attention inward, to the landscape of your own mind. You can imagine a gentle, peaceful fog now, rolling in to quiet your thoughts, simplifying everything until there is only a sense of profound and simple peace. The unique plants that evolve on islands often develop characteristics found nowhere else. Sometimes, on islands with no large grazing animals, plants will lose their thorns and toxins. They become gentle, defenseless. This is known as island tameness. It is a beautiful example of how a safe and isolated environment can lead to the letting go of defensive armoring. As you settle into the safety of your bed, you can practice your own form of island tameness. You can let go of your defenses, soften your armor, and allow yourself to be gentle and open to the peace of the night. The night sky, when viewed from a remote island, offers a clear view of our place in the cosmos. The familiar constellations, the planets, the slow arc of the moon. But it also reveals the satellites, the tiny man-made stars that silently cross the darkness. They are reminders of the human world, but seen from this peaceful distance, they are not intrusive. They are just silent, steady lights, part of the larger celestial dance. They show that even our busiest technology can appear peaceful when viewed from a place of deep calm and a vast perspective. The island's ecosystem is a delicate web of interdependence. The flower depends on the insect for pollination. The bird depends on the tree for its nest. The soil depends on the fallen leaves for its nourishment. Everything is connected. Nothing exists in true isolation. To understand this is to understand the nature of all life. It is a quiet refutation of loneliness. We are all part of a vast, intricate web of connection. To rest is to allow this web to support you, to feel the strength of these invisible threads holding you, connecting you to the whole. Let us imagine the weight of the island, the immense, unimaginable tonnage of all that rock resting on the planet's crust. It is a weight that is so great it actually bends the crust downwards, a concept known as isostatic depression. This immense weight creates a sense of profound stability. It is an anchor. You can feel your own weight now, a pleasant, reassuring pressure against your bed. Let this feeling of weight be your anchor tonight. It is what connects you to the earth. It is what holds you steady as you drift off to sleep. Many islands have a windward and a leeward side. The windward side faces the prevailing winds. It is often rugged, weathered, and battered by the elements. The leeward side is sheltered. It is often calmer, drier, and home to more gentle forms of life. We all have our windward and leeward sides. Parts of us that face the storms of the world, and parts that we keep sheltered and calm. As you prepare for sleep, you can turn your attention toward your own leeward side. You can retreat to that sheltered, peaceful place within you, where the winds of the day cannot reach. The salt spray from the ocean is carried by the wind far into the island's interior. It coats the leaves of the trees and seeps into the soil. This salt is a constant reminder of the sea's presence. It is the taste of the island's identity. It is a fundamental part of its chemistry. This subtle, pervasive influence of the ocean is like the influence of our deepest memories and experiences. They are not always at the front of our minds, but they subtly season our entire being, making us who we are. Sleep is a time to allow these flavors to settle, to integrate into a harmonious whole. The first humans to arrive on a pristine island must have felt an extraordinary sense of wonder. To be the first consciousness, to witness a particular waterfall, to see a bird that has never known fear, to walk a beach with no footprints. It is a moment of pure discovery, a meeting between a new land and a new awareness. As you fall asleep, you are, in a way, an explorer. You are entering a world that is created fresh for you each night. You can enter this world of dreams with that same sense of gentle curiosity and wonder. A phantom island is an island that was believed to exist and was shown on maps for a period of time, but was later proven to be non-existent. They were the result of navigational errors, mirages, or legends. These phantom islands are a beautiful metaphor for the worries and anxieties that can populate our minds. They can seem so real, so solid, so present on the map of our day. But when we examine them with a calm and rested mind, we often find they are not real at all. They are phantoms. And we can let them dissolve back into the sea of calm from which they arose. The silence of an island is different from other silences. It is not an absence of sound, but a presence of peace. It is a silence that is held and contained by the vastness of the ocean. It is a silence you can feel. It is heavy, like a soft blanket. It absorbs your thoughts. It quiets the inner chatter. Let this deep, oceanic silence enfold you now. You do not need to create it. You only need to notice it, to allow it to be. It has been waiting for you. It is the natural state of things, when all the striving and all the noise of the day has finally ceased. The moon's influence on the island is profound and undeniable. It pulls the entire ocean towards it, creating the great rhythm of the tides. This gravitational dance is a silent, powerful force that shapes the island's shores and the lives of the creatures that live there. It is a reminder of the powerful, unseen forces that bring rhythm and balance to our own lives. The natural cycles of rest and activity, the pull of our own inner needs. To sleep is to honor this ancient rhythm, to surrender to the gentle, gravitational pull of rest. On a clear night, the stars over the island don't just sit in the sky. They seem to fall all the way to the horizon. With no mountains or city lights to block the view, the celestial sphere feels complete, a perfect dome. This can create the feeling of being at the very center of the universe, a privileged vantage point from which to witness the grand, silent turning of the cosmos. It is a perspective that is both humbling and empowering. It connects your small, resting form to the grandest possible scale, and in that connection, there is a deep and abiding peace. Every island has a high point, a summit. It is the place that was born first, the first part of the island, to meet the air and the sun. To stand on this summit is to see the island in its entirety, to understand its shape, its relationship to the sea. It is a place of clarity and perspective. As you drift off to sleep, you are on a gentle journey to your own inner summit, a place of quiet perspective from which you can look down on the landscape of your day with a sense of gentle detachment and understanding. From up here, everything makes a little more sense. The island's beaches are littered with treasures for those with the patience to look. A piece of sea glass, its sharp edges smoothed by decades of tumbling in the sand. A perfectly formed shell, its intricate spiral a testament to the mathematics of nature. A strangely shaped piece of driftwood, sculpted by the water into a unique work of art. These small, simple beauties are a reward for slow, mindful attention. They remind us that there is beauty and wonder to be found in the small, simple details of our lives, if we only slow down enough to notice. Let us imagine the island breathing. In the morning, as the sun warms the land, the air rises, pulling in a cool, moist sea breeze. In the evening, as the land cools, the air flows back out towards the warmer sea, a gentle land breeze. This is the island's own diurnal breath, a slow, deep inhalation and exhalation that takes 24 hours to complete. Your own breath is now finding its own slow evening rhythm. You can let it be as gentle and as effortless as this great, planetary breathing of the island. Inhale peace. Exhale the day. The reef that surrounds many islands acts as a natural breakwater. It absorbs the power of the open ocean waves, creating a calm, protected lagoon on its inner side. It is a living wall, a guardian of the island's peace. You can create a similar reef around your own mind as you prepare for sleep. You can let the worries and stresses of the world break harmlessly against this gentle barrier, while the lagoon of your mind remains calm, clear, and peaceful. It is a place of safety, created by your own intention to rest. The memory of an island, for anyone who has visited one, is a powerful thing. It is not just a collection of images, but a feeling. The feeling of the warm sun, the sound of the waves, the scent of the salt air. It becomes an internal place of refuge that we can return to in our minds. Let our journey tonight be such a memory for you, a place you can return to whenever you need to find a moment of peace. The island is always here for you, in the quiet landscape of your mind, waiting to offer you its sanctuary. The Earth's magnetic field flows around the island, unseen and unfelt, a silent, protective force that shields the world from solar radiation. It is a gentle, planetary embrace. To know that this invisible field is present is to feel a sense of security on a cosmic scale. It is a reminder that we are part of a protected, well-ordered system. As you sleep, you are protected. You are safe within the embrace of your blankets, your room, your home, and the great, silent, magnetic embrace of the Earth itself. An island is a finite world. You can walk its perimeter. You can know its every hill and valley. This finitude can be a great comfort. Unlike the seemingly endless complexity of the mainland, the island is knowable. It is contained. In a world that can often feel overwhelming, the simplicity and containment of an island can be deeply reassuring. As you fall asleep, you are retreating into your own finite, contained world, a simple, knowable world of darkness, quiet, and breath. And in this simplicity there is profound peace. The history of islands is full of stories of castaways and survivors, people who found themselves alone, with only their own resources to rely on. These stories speak to a deep human capacity for resilience and ingenuity. They remind us that we have within us a source of strength that we may not even know is there until we need it. To rest deeply is to replenish this inner source. It is to store up the energy, the clarity, and the resilience you will need for the journeys of your own life. The ecology of an island is a story of niches. With a limited number of species, each one adapts to fill a very specific role. One bird develops a beak for cracking hard seeds, another develops a beak for sipping nectar. This specialization leads to a peaceful and efficient coexistence. It is a model of a community where everyone has a place and a purpose. There is a calm in this, a sense of rightness. And as you fall asleep, every part of your body knows its niche, its purpose. Every cell is ready to begin its own specialized work of healing and restoration. Let the gentle, rocking motion of a boat anchored in a calm island bay be a final sensation for your body to hold. A slow, barely perceptible sway from side to side. It is one of the most primal and soothing motions, a rhythm that reminds us of being held and comforted. You can allow your body to feel this gentle, imaginary sway. A slow, liquid rocking that releases the last vestiges of tension and lulls your nervous system into a state of deep, trusting calm. You are held, you are safe, you can let go. The island exists in a state of perfect balance between the forces of creation and destruction. The volcano builds the land up, while the wind and the waves work to wear it down. It is a dynamic, living equilibrium. This is the nature of all life, a constant dance between growth and decay, doing and being. To sleep is to honor the destructive side of this cycle in the most positive sense. It is the process of breaking down the fatigue and stress of the day so that creation and growth can happen anew in the morning. There is a unique quality to the light just before dawn on a tropical island. It is not yet light, but the darkness has softened. The air is cool and still. The world seems to be holding its breath, waiting for the sun. This is the blue hour, a time of deep peace and quiet anticipation. Your own deepest sleep occurs in these pre-dawn hours. It is your own blue hour, a time of profound stillness and restoration, just before the first light of a new consciousness begins to dawn. Ultimately, an island is defined by what surrounds it. It is a small area of something, surrounded by a vast area of nothing. A small island of matter in a great ocean of emptiness. This relationship with the void is what gives it its meaning, its identity. It is a focal point for our attention. As you drift into the final stages of sleep, let your own consciousness become like this, a vast, quiet, empty ocean. And do not be afraid if, for a time, there are no islands of thought at all. Just the deep, restorative peace of the void itself. The sound of your own heartbeat, if you were to become very still, is a deep and steady rhythm. It is the internal drumbeat of your life. Like the gentle, rhythmic pulse of waves on a distant shore, it is a constant, reassuring presence. It has been with you your entire life. It is the sound of your own quiet strength. You do not need to listen for it now. Just know that it is there, a faithful, steady rhythm that will carry you through the night and into the morning. The sand of an island's beach is a record of its history. It is made of ground-down volcanic rock, the fragments of coral reefs, the tiny shells of countless creatures. To hold a handful of sand is to hold 1,000,000 years of history. It is a reminder that the world is built from the small, accumulated fragments of what came before. Your own sense of self, your own peace of mind, is also built upon the accumulated moments of rest and quiet that you have given yourself. Tonight, you are adding another handful of peace to that foundation. Let's imagine one final detail. A single, perfect droplet of dew, resting on a broad green leaf in the island's forest at dawn. It catches the first ray of sunlight, and for a moment, it holds the entire world in its tiny, spherical surface. The sky, the trees, the light. It is a small, temporary jewel of immense beauty. This is the beauty of a simple, present moment. It has the capacity to hold everything. And as you fall asleep, you are entering a state of simple presence, a state of quiet, jewel-like perfection. The island's journey is one of becoming. From sterile rock to a complex ecosystem, it is a story of slow, patient manifestation. Your own journey into sleep is also one of becoming. You are becoming rested. You are becoming restored. You are becoming ready for a new day. It is not a passive state, but an active, quiet process of transformation. And the only thing it asks of you is that you let it happen, that you surrender to this wise, natural, and deeply healing process. The Earth's rotation is the final, grand rhythm that governs the island. It is what creates day and night. It is a slow, silent, and unstoppable turning. As you lie in your bed, you are part of this grand motion. You are spinning gently through the quiet darkness of space, held securely by gravity. To feel yourself as part of this planetary turning is to feel a sense of profound connection to the cosmos. It is a motion that is both dynamic and deeply restful. Let this great, slow turning of the world be the final lullaby that carries you into sleep. Our story of the island has been a story of emergence. The emergence of land from the sea. The emergence of life from sterile rock. The emergence of complexity from simplicity. This is the fundamental direction of the universe. And sleep is part of this. It is the necessary quiet, out of which renewed energy and clarity can emerge. You are participating in this fundamental creative rhythm. You are gathering your potential in the quiet darkness, preparing for the emergence of a new day. The feeling of sand, warmed by the sun, is a uniquely comforting sensation. It holds the heat of the day long after the sun has set. To imagine lying on this warm sand is to feel a gentle, radiant heat seeping into your muscles, releasing all tension. It is a feeling of being held and nurtured by the earth itself. Let this feeling of gentle, passive warmth spread through your entire body now, a soft, soothing heat that melts away any remaining tightness, leaving only a state of deep, comfortable ease. The island is a teacher. Its lessons are written in stone, water, and life. It teaches patience, resilience, and the beauty of interdependence. It teaches us about the power of isolation and the necessity of connection. We do not need to memorize these lessons. We only need to absorb them. And the best way to do that is to rest. In a state of deep rest, our minds are open, and we can absorb the quiet wisdom of the world around us and the quiet wisdom within us. The island has offered us its stories. Stories of fire and water, of long journeys and patient growth. It has shared its silence, its rhythms, and its peace. We can be grateful for this imaginary journey. It has been a vessel to carry us from the busy shore of the day to the quiet harbor of the night. The vessel has served its purpose. The journey is over, and now the harbor is here, waiting to receive you. It is a place of perfect stillness. And so, the island becomes a dream, a landscape held in the soft suspension of your sleeping mind. It is both nowhere and everywhere. It is a fragment of the earth and a symbol of the soul. It is a place of profound loneliness and profound wholeness. This is its final paradox and its final gift. A place where opposites meet and resolve into a single, simple, overwhelming sense of peace. Let this peace be your final waking sensation as you let go completely now and drift away. The island, as we leave it to the night, is not just a passive object. In a slow geological sense, it is a living thing. It has a metabolism, the slow cycle of erosion and growth. It has a circulatory system, the fresh water that flows from its peaks to its shores. It has a skin, the thin, fragile layer of soil and life that covers its stony bones. To think of the island in this way is to feel a sense of kinship with it. It is another form of life, one that operates on a time scale so vast it appears to us as stillness. Its quiet is not emptiness, but a state of deep, slow, and patient being. The consciousness of an island, if it could be said to have one, would be a thing of profound calm. It would be a consciousness made of stone and time. It would feel the slow grind of the tectonic plates beneath it, the patient caress of the wind on its slopes, the weight of the forests on its back. It would witness the passing of millennia as we witness the passing of days. It would have no anxiety for the future and no regret for the past. It would simply be. To touch this deep, stony consciousness is the goal of deep meditation and the gift of deep sleep. It is the peace that comes from becoming one with something ancient and vast and deeply, deeply still. Let us imagine the dreams of an island. They would not be dreams of action or adventure, but of slow transformation. The island might dream of a time when it was molten fire at the bottom of the sea. It might dream of the first hardy seed landing on its shore, a dream of greenness. It might dream of the slow, patient sculpting of its cliffs by the tireless ocean. Its dreams are its memories, written in its very substance. As you enter your own dream state, you are tapping into your own deep history, the memories and feelings that have shaped you. May your dreams be as patient and as transformative as those of the island. The island is a keeper of stories. It holds the memory of every storm that has broken on its shores, every bird that has nested in its trees, every wave that has shaped its sands. These stories are not written in books, but in the landscape itself. A bent tree tells the story of a prevailing wind. A deep canyon tells the story of a patient river. The island does not cling to these stories. It simply embodies them. It is a living library of time and change. As you rest, you are allowing the stories of your own day to settle, to find their place in the larger landscape of your life, becoming not burdens, but part of the texture of who you are. The gravity of the island is what holds everything in place. It is a gentle but insistent force, pulling everything towards its center. It is the reason the rain flows downwards, the reason the soil clings to the slopes, the reason the trees grow towards the sky in perfect opposition. This invisible force is a constant, reassuring presence. It is the island's embrace. You can feel this same force now, the gentle pull of the earth. It is holding you. It is keeping you safe. You can release all your efforts to hold yourself together and trust in this fundamental, unwavering support. The relationship between the island and the stars is one of silent companionship. For eons, the island has watched the same constellations wheel across the night sky. It has used their steady light to mark the passing of the seasons. The stars are its calendar, its clock, its connection to the vast, unchanging rhythms of the cosmos. They are a reminder that even in the most profound isolation, one is never truly without guidance. As you sleep, you are navigating by your own internal stars, the deep intuitive wisdom that guides you through the darkness, back to the light of morning. An island is a world reduced to its essentials: rock, water, air, and life. There is a purity in this simplicity. It strips away the non-essential. On an island, you are brought face to face with the fundamental forces of nature. This is why spending time in such a place can feel so restorative. It reconnects us with what is real, what is true, what is lasting. The state of deep sleep is a return to our own essentials, the body's need for repair, the mind's need for quiet. It is a stripping away of the complexity of the day, returning to the simple, pure, and essential foundation of our own being. The island teaches us that life always adapts. On its harsh, windward shores, the plants grow low and stunted, clinging to the rock. In its sheltered valleys, they grow tall and lush. Life does not fight its conditions, it yields to them. And in yielding, it finds the perfect form for its survival and flourishing. This is the wisdom of water, the wisdom of nature. As you fall asleep, you are practicing this same wisdom. You are not fighting your tiredness, you are yielding to it. And in this surrender, you will find the perfect conditions for your own restoration and renewal. The atmosphere of the earth, the thin blue shell of air, is what connects the island to the rest of the world in a gaseous, invisible ocean. The same air that touches your face has traveled over vast oceans, over distant continents, and through the forests of our island. We are all breathing the same air, participating in the same global respiration. This is a profound and beautiful connection. Your quiet breath in your quiet room is a small part of this immense planetary rhythm. You are breathing with the world, and the world is breathing with you. The island's greatest offering is perspective. When you are standing on its shore, looking back at the continent you have left behind, it seems distant and small. The problems and pressures of that world shrink with the distance. An island provides a vantage point from which to see your own life more clearly. Sleep provides this same perspective. It is a journey you take each night to a place of quiet distance, allowing you to return to your life in the morning with a renewed sense of what is truly important and what is just noise. The deep psychological pull of the island dream is a near universal human experience. It is the dream of a place where we can be truly ourselves, away from the demands and expectations of society. It is a symbol of the soul, a place of inner wholeness and integrity. The water that surrounds it represents the subconscious, the vast, mysterious inner world we must cross to reach this place of centeredness. The journey to the island is the journey inward, and sleep is the small boat that takes us on that journey every single night. To be on an island is to be fully present. Your senses are heightened. You notice the texture of the sand, the temperature of the breeze, the sound of a single bird. With fewer distractions, the world becomes more vivid, more real. This is the state of mindfulness that we so often seek. Sleep is the ultimate state of presence. You are not in the past or the future. You are simply here, in the quiet, dark reality of your own resting body. It is a return to the pure, simple, sensory truth of your own existence. The island is a sanctuary not just for unique species, but for the human spirit. Throughout history, people have sought out islands as places for spiritual retreat, for solitude, and for deep contemplation. The physical isolation of the island creates the perfect conditions for inner exploration. Your own bed, your own room, can be such a sanctuary. You can consciously decide that this space, for this time, is a sacred island, a place dedicated solely to the profound and important work of rest, healing, and peace. The paradox of the island is that in its isolation, it reveals our deep connection to everything. By removing us from the noise of our daily lives, it allows us to hear the deeper rhythms of the world, the tides, the wind, the stars. We feel ourselves not as separate individuals, but as part of a great interconnected whole. This is the gift of true solitude. It does not create loneliness, it dissolves it. And the solitude of sleep can do the same, dissolving the sharp edges of the ego and allowing us to feel our deep, quiet connection to the fabric of being itself. The island is a place of letting go. You let go of your routines, your schedules, your usual sense of self. You surrender to a simpler rhythm, a rhythm dictated by the sun and the sea. This surrender is the key to the island's restorative power. It is also the key to sleep. It is the final, conscious act of letting go of the day, letting go of control, letting go of all your thoughts, all your worries, all your plans. You are surrendering to a wiser, deeper rhythm, the ancient, healing rhythm of sleep. Now, the island of our story begins to fade into the mist. It has been our guide, our gentle companion on this journey towards rest. We can thank it for its stories, its silence, and its peace. The details of its geology, the names of its plants and animals, they can all dissolve now. What remains is the feeling of calm, the feeling of stability, the feeling of being held in a vast, quiet, and beautiful world. Let this feeling be the landscape that you inhabit now as you drift deeper. The journey across the water is complete. Your small boat has arrived at a quiet shore. You can feel the gentle bump as it comes to rest on the soft sand. The voyage is over. You can step out now, onto the solid ground of deep and peaceful rest. The ocean of the day is behind you. Before you is a land of quiet and stillness, a place where there are no demands, no expectations, only the simple healing presence of the night. You have arrived. You are home. Let your awareness be like a smooth, flat stone skipping across the surface of a calm lake. It touches down briefly on a thought, a sensation, a sound, and then it bounces off again, continuing its journey across the stillness. Don't try to stop the thoughts. Just let your awareness touch them lightly and then move on, skipping, until it finally loses its momentum and sinks gently, without a splash, into the deep, quiet, silent water below. The space behind your closed eyes is a vast and peaceful landscape. At first, you may see shifting patterns of light and color, the afterglow of your day. But as you relax, this will all fade into a soft, uniform darkness. Let this darkness be a comfort to you. It is not an empty void, but a rich and restorative space. It is the darkness of deep space, where new stars are born. It is the darkness of rich soil, where seeds germinate. It is the darkness of the womb. It is a place of infinite potential and profound rest. Every part of you is now receiving the signal to rest. From the tips of your toes to the crown of your head, a wave of relaxation is flowing through you. It is a current of calm, washing through your muscles, your nerves, your very cells. It is a silent, internal instruction, understood by the deepest wisdom of your body. The instruction is simple. Let go. Let go of the day. Let go of all effort. Let go of being awake. Your body is ready to obey. It is ready to surrender to the deep peace it has been waiting for all day. The tide of sleep is rising now, slowly and surely. You can feel it gently swirling around your ankles, then your knees, then your waist. It is a warm, pleasant, heavy sensation. Do not resist it. It is the most natural force in the world. It is the tide that washes the world clean each night. It is lifting you now, buoying you up, taking your weight. You are floating. You are drifting. You are being carried away from the shore of the waking world, out into the calm, quiet, deep water of sleep. Your breath is the anchor that holds you in this peaceful state, but it is a special kind of anchor. It is an anchor that does not hold you in one place, but allows you to drift gently downwards, deeper and deeper, with each exhalation. With every breath you release, you are letting out a little more line, allowing yourself to sink further into the peaceful depths. Inhale calm, and as you exhale, sink a little deeper. Inhale peace, and as you exhale, let go a little more. Sinking, drifting, descending into perfect rest. The quiet of your room is a protective shell. It is the shell of a deep-sea nautilus, perfectly formed to withstand the pressures of the outside world. Within this shell, you are safe. You are insulated. The noises of the world are distant and muffled. Here, in the spiraling center of your own quiet space, you can finally unwind. You can let the core of your being, which may have been tightly coiled all day, finally relax and expand into the safety and the silence that you have created for yourself. The boundary between wakefulness and sleep is like a soft, invisible membrane. You are pressing gently against it now. You may drift back and forth for a moment. You may hear these words, or you may not. It doesn't matter. The process is underway. You can feel the gentle, irresistible pull from the other side. It is the pull of your own need for rest. It is a welcome and familiar feeling. You can let go of the last thread of wakeful awareness now and allow yourself to pass through that soft membrane into the boundless, peaceful world of sleep. You have given your mind a beautiful and peaceful landscape to rest in tonight. The island, with its ancient rocks, its green forests, and its endless, patient sea. This landscape will stay with you as you sleep, a subconscious anchor of calm and strength. You have planted a seed of peace, and it will continue to grow in the fertile darkness of the night. You have done a kind and wonderful thing for yourself, and now the work is done. It is time to enjoy the fruits of your gentle efforts. It is time to simply and completely rest. And so, our long journey ends. We began with the story of a world being born from fire and sea, a story of immense scale, of unimaginable slowness. We followed the first tenacious forms of life as they crossed impossible oceans to create a new world of vibrant green. We saw how this isolation forged new and wonderful creatures, turning a lonely outpost into a cradle of creation. This great, slow story of the earth is a powerful lullaby. A story of chaos finding order, of violence finding peace, and of emptiness finding a deep and abiding fullness. We learn that an island is a paradox. It is the epitome of separation, yet it is defined and sustained by its connection to the rest of the world. It is a fortress, and it is a fragile sanctuary. It is a prison, and it is a paradise. It is a place of profound solitude that teaches us the meaning of universal connection. These gentle contradictions can remind us that our own lives are full of such complexities, and that is okay. We can hold these opposing truths in a gentle balance and find peace in the center, just as the island finds its peace in the center of the restless sea. The immense timescale of the island's story can be a profound comfort. The slow work of erosion, the patient growth of the forest, the eons of quiet waiting. This deep time dwarfs our own small human concerns. Our worries, our anxieties, the pressures of a single day, they all find their proper proportion when measured against the life of a mountain. To connect with this deep time is to find a peace that is solid, unshakable, and real. Your single, precious night of rest is your own small way of honoring this deep, slow, and healing rhythm. We have used this story as a gentle guide, a path to lead you from the busy mainland of your day to the quiet, solitary island of your rest. The purpose of the story was not to be remembered, but to be a vessel to carry your awareness to this present moment of profound quiet. Now that you have arrived, the vessel is no longer needed. The story can dissolve. The words can fade. The journey is complete. All that is left is the destination, this perfect, present moment of peace. Let the deep, quiet peace of the island be your peace now. Let the steadfast strength of its ancient rock be your strength. Let the clean, pure air of its atmosphere be your breath. And let the vast, rhythmic calm of the ocean that surrounds it be the state of your own mind. You are not just imagining an island, you are embodying its qualities. You are becoming a sanctuary of peace in the middle of the quiet sea of the night. You are the island, and you are at peace. The world outside your window will continue its turning. The silent moon will continue its journey across the sky. The distant stars will continue their ancient, silent burning. You are part of this grand, quiet, celestial motion. You are safe. You are held. You are part of a universe that is vast, mysterious, and deeply, deeply peaceful. There is nothing more you need to do. There is nothing more you need to know. All that is required now is that you rest. My voice will soon leave you. It will recede like the tide, leaving behind only the quiet shore of silence. Let this silence be a comfort. Let it be a soft blanket that covers you. It is in this silence that the real magic of sleep happens. It is in this silence that your body will heal, your mind will clear, and your spirit will be restored. Embrace this silence. Welcome it as a dear and trusted friend, here to watch over you as you sleep. So let your final conscious breath be one of gratitude. Gratitude for your body, this incredible vessel that carries you through your life. Gratitude for your mind, with its capacity for imagination and wonder. And gratitude for this gift of sleep, this nightly miracle of renewal and peace. Let this warm feeling of gratitude be the final sensation that you carry with you as you let go of this day and drift into the gentle, healing darkness. Every story must find its end, and every day must find its night. This is the natural rhythm of things, a time for activity and a time for rest, a time for light and a time for darkness. You have honored this rhythm by being here tonight. You have given yourself the gift of closure on your day. And now you can welcome the night, not as an ending, but as a necessary and beautiful part of the endless cycle of life. The island is asleep, the world is asleep, and now it is your turn. There is nothing left to do. There is nowhere left to go. You are exactly where you need to be, safe in your bed, drifting in a sea of calm. Let the last anchor of wakefulness be lifted. Let your ship drift freely now on the deep, dark, peaceful waters of slumber. Thank you for joining me, the Sleepy Geographer, on this journey. It has been an honor to be your quiet companion, to share this story with you. I hope it has been a gentle pathway for you, a soft current to carry you towards the shores of a deep and peaceful rest. The world is full of wonders, but tonight, the greatest wonder of all is the simple, profound peace of a mind that is ready for sleep. Let my voice be the last thing you hold on to, and then let that go too. Let it all dissolve. Let it all fade away. There is only the darkness now, the gentle, quiet, comforting darkness. It is a friend. It is a healer. It is the promise of a new morning. Sink into it, trust it, and rest. All the journeys are over. The journey of the day, the journey of our story. All that remains is the one, final, effortless journey into the deepest levels of your own quiet being. It is a journey that requires no effort, only surrender. So surrender now, let go. The island is a dream now. Let it carry you into your own dreams. May they be peaceful, may they be restorative, and may they bring you to the shores of a bright and gentle morning. Rest now. Rest deeply. Sleep well. The night is here. It is a vast and quiet ocean, and you are ready to set sail. Let go of the shore. Let go of everything. Drift, float, sleep, peace. Just peace. Let that be the final state. A deep and abiding peace that fills your entire being. A peace that is beyond words, beyond thought. Just a simple, profound, and healing peace. Quiet now. Deeply quiet. Let the silence be total. Let it be complete. Shh. And now it is time for true silence. Time for my voice to leave you completely to the care of the night. Sleep. Just sleep. Rest now. Rest well. Good night. Silence for 10 seconds.